Hello class, this is a video tutorial on basic equation solvings. In this video we'll be focusing on only multiplication and division. Just before we continue, we have to just quickly recall the method in which we solved equations. So we had inverse operations. So if I list the operations here, for operations in mathematics we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And for each of these we had an inverse operation. So the inverse of each, the inverse of addition is subtraction. The inverse of a subtraction is addition. The inverse of multiplication is division, and the inverse of division is multiplication. For this one we will only need to focus on the multiplication and division. And on top of this we also had balancing equations. Balancing equations. Okay, and we said that when there's an equal sign, it splits an equation into two sides. We have a left-hand side and a right-hand side. And in balancing equations, it states that what is done to the left-hand side must also be done to the right hand side. Okay, so let's just get straight into it, okay? So we'll just have a few questions out here ready to go. A few examples. If we had the equation 4x equals 12, okay, and if we can just quickly recall, we're going to use this as our example. If we can quickly recall that in algebra, the coefficient and the pronumeral, this is actually a multiplication. So this actually means, I'm just going to draw it on the right here, 4 times x. Okay, since we know that this is 4x is 4 times x, the inverse here is division. So we're going to apply an inverse of 4 here. And as it states in balancing equations, what is done on the left must also be done on the right. So if we divide it by 4 here, we must also divide by 4 here. Okay. So similar to how when we did the inverse, these vanish. But in actual fact, what's happening is it's 4 times x divided by 4. Think about that for a moment. Wouldn't 4 divided by 4 equal to 1? So this would actually be equal to, I'll do it in pencil first just so I can make my statement. It would be 1x. But remember how once again in mathematics we don't write 1x. We can just write it as x. And since we're applying divide by 4 on the left and the right, so what is, oops, that equal sign shouldn't be there, sorry. The equal sign should be in the middle, like this. What is 12 divided by 4? Well, 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, so let's just do a few more examples here. Let's get another question going. Question B, we have 5 q is equal to 30. And once again, just to state my point, this 5q is actually, I'm going to draw it here to the right, 5 times q. Well, since that's times by 5, the inverse of this must be divide by 5. So we're dividing both left and right by 5. Once again, 5q divided by 5. Well, that is just 1q, but we just write it as q. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Okay, let's move on now to a bit of division. So we have m divided by 2 equals 12. And once again, it's very similar. This is actually the same as m divided by 2, right? Because remember, in simplifying algebraic expressions, this m divided by 2 can be just written as m over 2. So since this is divided by 2, the inverse of this is times by 2. We're going to multiply both sides by 2. Divided by 2 times by 2. Well, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So this is actually 1m, but again, we don't write the 1. 12 times 2, that is 24. Okay, let's do another example here. Example D. We have n divided by 5 is equal to 6. Once again, this is actually n divided by 5. So the inverse of this must be times by 5. So we're going to times this by 5 times this one by 5. N divided by 5 times by 5. Well, that's just 1 n. 6 times 5 is just 30. Okay, now I'm just going to write a few questions for you to just give a go. By the time I finish, I'm going to answer them. And I want you to give them a go. So question E is 10f is equal to 20. Question F is w over 8 is equal to 9. Question G is 3p is equal to 33. And G and question H is equal to x over 3 is equal to 8. So here we go. Hope you had some time. You can pause the video now and give these a go. So here we go. The inverse of this is divide by 10. So dividing both sides by 10, we get f is equal to 20 divided by 10 is 2. Divide by 8. The inverse operation is times by 8. So we timesing both sides by 8, we get w on the left hand side. 9 times 8 is 72. Times 3 is the operation. So the inverse is divide by 3. Dividing both sides by 3, we get p on the left hand side. 33 divided by 3 is 11. And this last one, the inverse operation is times 3. So multiplying both left and right by times 3. So we get x on the left hand side. 8 times 3 is 24. Hope you gave that a go, and I hope that helped you, and best of luck.